Hi, I'm Ed Khouri, and I'm back to talk with you about maturity. In our last couple sessions, we talked about maturity, love, and fear, and how maturity is so exciting because it's becoming everything that we are designed and created to be. And we've also talked about the need for growing our maturity in relationship with both God and others in love. Now we're going to talk about maturity and trains, and I bet you never thought that you could talk about trains and maturity at the same time and make sense. Well, let's give it a shot. Think for a minute about looking at a train track, and what do you see? As you look at the track, in one direction you see a rail, parallel to it in the same direction is another rail, and there's a whole series of little cross ties. Those rails keep a train straight, and the cross ties help keep those rails connected, parallel, and moving in a straight line so that the train can get where it actually wants to go. Well, growing our maturity is a lot like train tracks. Think about it like this. One rail is our relationship with God and growing a deeper connection, a heart connection with God and His love and how delighted He is to be with us. A second track is relationships with other people and growing in love and in community with people in love. We need both rails. Now, what ties those things together? The cross ties, those wooden cross ties. Think about the cross ties as learning the relational and emotional skills that we need to stay connected with God and with other people, to grow those connections and stay connected when bad things happen. If you leave one of those elements out, your train derails. The problem that happens with us if we miss the relationship with God, we miss the relationship with others, or we don't learn the relational skills to stay connected with God or others, we derail. How many times have you heard stories about people that seem to have a great spiritual life and just crashed and burned and did things that they and their family and their churches and everybody that knows them go, gee, how did that happen? We had no idea. I'll tell you how it happened. One of those rails was not solid and not in place, or the cross ties were not put in place well. You see, for you and me to stay on track, for you and I to reach our full God-given potential, to grow up into Christ, to reach that destination, we need the God track and we need the track with others and the relational skills to stay connected. Otherwise, we derail. Think about how hard it is for us to grow all three of those at the same time. Now, we're going to come back and talk about this later, but that's one of the reasons that the Thriving Recover Your Life program was started. Because in Thriving, we're being intentional about the rail with God and growing that in joy. We're being intentional about growing relationships in joy and community with multiple generations. And we're being intentional about building the cross ties, which are learning the relational skills that help us all stay connected to God and each other and move together on our tracks towards maturity. Now that's pretty exciting. When we come back next time, we're going to start talking about what happens if we go off the rails. What happens when fear moves one of those rails or the cross ties get shifted? Because that's exactly what fear does. It derails us. And we're going to find out next time what happens. And later we're going to start looking about what to do about it. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss the next one. Have a great day.